Have you learned nothing from me yet?
Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
Really? Not a thing?
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna do a short video. I'm in the process of moving, so my studio isn't set up, and so I just wanted to make that's one of my house items to do in my welcome. Let me start my house items, and then I'm gonna start that welcome again. Hold on. House item one. I'm filming at the lake because I'm not at my house. My studio isn't set up. So with that being stated, I decided to take you guys to one of my favorite places, the lake. This is where I like to come and unwind, regroup, kind of think, and decompress and gather my mental. So, house item at the lake is that there are flies out here, unfortunately, because people decided to leave crawfish down when it was eating their crawfish. Kind of typical. So, if you see me swatting, that's why. Second house item, my voice is gone. Just be honest with you guys. My voice is gone now, not because I'm sick. Because I was yelling. I was going off. Yes, I lost it. And so now my voice is going. So bear with me. Three, ah, we had the flies, the voice being gone, and the video is going to be shorter because of me in the process of moving. So bear with me. I apologize that I didn't get those videos out on time. Once again, I'm moving. None of my stuff is set up. Everything is crazy. Um, Lots been going on in my world. Good, and I don't never think of anything as negative. It's always it's always a necessary for your growth. So I'm in a transition period right now, but nevertheless, a good one. But I'm not gonna hold y'all. If I remember what my other house item was, which I did have. Oh, my hair just hit my face. Um, I'll say it in the video, but I'm not gonna hold y'all. It's a short video. Let's get it on. I don't want to leave y'all in my leader. But whatever, y'all don't want to leave y'all. I shouldn't have left y'all, but I'm back, and um, yeah, let's get this thing going. So without any further ado, get whichever you need to chill with me, and let's get this thing going. Let's go.
What if I told y'all there was a family that might have helped inspire the movie Wrong Turn? Today I'll be talking about the legend of the Crow family. A legend has it in the 1950s there was this family that lived in Raven Hollows, Ohio. And they didn't look like everybody else. They were deformed and just looked different. But y'all know back in the day they weren't very educated on stuff like that. They didn't know. They just looked at you as a freak if you looked different. The Crow family lived in this old abandoned looking house that was like right by the forest, and it literally looked like it was going to fall apart at any moment. So one night, the people of the town decided that they just was tired of these people in their community and that they wanted to do something about it. Even though these people weren't even messing with them, they just was weird. And they just didn't look like them. So they decided to gather up one night and go to these people's house and burn it down to the ground. Now they say that the family all managed to escape and went straight to the forest. And that's where they lived out the rest of their lives. Now here's the crazy part. Rumor has it they unalived over 1,000 people, and over 1,000 people in this area went missing and was never found. It was said that they literally had to become basically like hunters and adapt to the forest, and they made all kinds of traps, different booby traps that would like torture these people. The crazy thing is they thought it was funny, like they would literally just be laughing. Now, this could just be a legend, but some people believe that this was one of the inspos of the movie Wrong Turn. Now, the movie Wrong Turn was actually inspired by the legend of Sawney Bean. And that was this crazy story based in an area in Scotland with this inbred family that was literally like eating all these people. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think this story is true or just a legend?
But look, they probably a song that's not rusted. I don't know, but y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Let's keep going.
Lady Gaga just took the stage at Coachella, and well, it's pretty dark. I mean, she was on SNL a few weeks ago and did this very kind of satanic skit, and here again, the theatrical performance of her song Abracadabra, and I mean, it just looks like it's dark stuff going on here. The theme is very satanic. It's theatrical, but I mean, this is the kind of stuff you wouldn't see just 10 years ago, but it's just become more and more prevalent and more dark. I mean, it's very just, ritualistic, and the whole crowd is chanting and yelling and screaming abracadabra. The first verse is interesting. It says, "Pay the toll to the angels, drawing circles in the clouds." Pay the toll to the angels, fallen angels, drawing circles in the clouds. That reminds me of the UFO phenomenon. And then it goes on to say, "Keep your mind on the distance while the devil turns around." And then the chorus starts, "Hold me in your heart tonight in the magic of the dark moonlight." So what are you singing to? Who are you singing to hold you in their arms? Because he just mentioned the devil and basically fallen angels. And then look at the theme. It's very dark. There's a scene here where all these dancers are underneath and they're all in cages and they're trying to reach out. I mean, I don't know why anyone would want to be in this position, and the crowd's going crazy. There's like this cage, and these dancers are all, in torment, it looks like. And then she's kind of proceeding over this whole thing. Why don't you listen to this? If you heard they're all kind of chanting abracadabra, and they're all saying this over and over. And of course, abracadabra is not what we think it is. It's not this fun little phrase for kids to say when they're doing magic tricks. It has a very different, darker, occult meaning. And the whole crowd's participating, singing this thing and chanting these words as they've got this whole thing going on. And I mean, again, I'll say it, you just wouldn't have seen this 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You just wouldn't have. The things in entertainment have gotten much darker now. And you've got this at Coachella every year. It seems to be, let's see how far we can push it. Let's see how far we can push it. And then there's this weird scene where she goes and talks to this other, what apparently is an older version of herself from the 2009 VMA Awards, and she starts screaming at herself here. Just very dark. I mean, very dark and disturbing. And they go, eventually there's dancers all in dark and white, and the dark ones pick her up, carry her off, and bury her in sand. There's a checkerboard scene there. Of course, you're going to have people just saying, "Oh, you're overreacting. This is just entertainment. This is just theatrics. That's what she does. She's Lady Gaga. Haven't you ever seen her stuff?" All that stuff. But if you're a Christian and you know the times we're in and your eyes are wide open, if you have ears to hear and eyes to see, you can't unsee this. You know the spiritual battle we're in and how it's ramping up in the end times, and this kind of stuff is becoming more and more prevalent. And again, I think this is a sign of the times, just that how it gets darker and darker as we get closer and closer to things wrapping up and coming to an end.
Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, but I will say this. On the next video, we're going to discuss what abracadabra really is, and that it really is, a spell, and what kind of spell, and about Aleister Crowley, and then about Morgana, Lady Gaga, and another artist that passed away named Morgana. I can't think of it off the bat right now, but that's going to be our next video to go down because she's been on a dark path. And I don't know if you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I discussed about her connection with Marina Abramovic. So, let's keep going.
So who really built these buildings? And do you think that they're Tartarian or not? Because I don't think George Washington really laid the cornerstone of the United States Capitol building that founded the United States of America. Because the cornerstone that George Washington laid, it was a Masonic ceremony. George Washington was a Freemason. And right here it says the first cornerstone was laid Wednesday, September 18th, 1793, during the first public event staged in the Federal City. This was a staged event. You see, there was other men at this ceremony that were involved in the making of the United States of America. A man named Haym Salomon, okay? He funded the Continental Army and helped put George Washington into his position. All Haym asked in return was that the United States of America included the Star of David underneath its seal and in its cornerstone. And it just so happens that in the Old Testament, a man named King Solomon and another man named King Hiram formed an alliance. Hiram supplied materials for Solomon and workers to build the first temple in Jerusalem. The first temple in Jerusalem, the United States capital. These are not Tartarian buildings. This was built by Solomon. This is really the first temple. They rewrote history in a staged event. The first cornerstone was made and created by Solomon with the Star of David, which is the tabernacle of Moloch. Moloch was an idol. That same star is depicted on the United States seal. The tabernacle of Moloch, right above the eagle's head, the same eagle crest that Haim Solomon designed for the laying of the first cornerstone in the Temple of Jerusalem. That's why a man named Asher Levi from the tribe of Levi, this is Asher that ruled in Judah, okay? He was the first Jew to settle in America. He was appointed by Solomon in the temples to run the synagogues. You see the coin at the top. If you can see, they can rest protected from tyranny and oppression here. The N, O, A, and H, and can protected tyranny in here are all lit up to spell Noah. Asher Levi with two other Ashkenazi Jews called Jacob and Solomon. Jacob, the father of Levi, sailed to Manhattan on the board the pear broom, which was a pear tree, a boat, in August 22nd, 1654. They rewrote American history to fit their narrative. America is ancient Jerusalem, and it was built by Solomon. These are not millennial reign buildings. We're not in the millennial reign right now. This is all to Solomon's reign and the second coming of Jesus Christ.
Well, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Let's keep going. Let's go.
The all-seeing eye and the pyramids, they're everywhere. Come on, I'm going to take you right to it. All you got to do is leave the most popular pyramid in Astana, Kazakhstan. That's right there. And you're going to click on that right there. You hold up the Wiedeners, and then we're going to go down to Denmark, and that's not it. You got to go. It's out there in the field right there. Go. Yeah, ooh, there it is right there. All right, turning. Pull this. Pow. That guy right there with the pyramid, he changed one of the most powerful verses in the Bible. That guy's all about pyramids, but you've probably seen his representatives walking around. They knock on your door. I guess Wiedeners means witness. And even though the Apostle Paul warned us about other people or angels preaching another gospel, he went and did it anyway. He wrote a version of the Bible called the New World Translation. The very first verse in the book of John reads like this in the Holy Bible. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And in the New World Translation, it says that the Word was a God. Ask them about that pyramid building thing when they come up and knock on the door. I don't know, may have gone there. I never really thought of it as a pyramid scheme. That's pretty sneaky. A lot of people wouldn't even catch it. I go by Ezekiel 33:3, and that scripture says that when I see the sword fall upon the land, I blow the trumpet and warn the people. So like and follow the trumpet for more. And in Jesus' name, have a blessed day.
Yo, low key, all of these religions are tied to the Masonic order and all that. But didn't that pyramid with the little eye, it looked like the one eye symbolism at the top, but didn't it look like the little Ouija board thing that people be using for the Ouija board? Or was that just me? Y'all let me know in the comments.
Have you heard of the red shoe cult, I think it is?
Nah.
Oh, really? So it's like a lot of politicians, a lot of like the high influence people all wear like red shoes in important like media day photos, and that's supposed to like bind the group, right? And I don't know, but Ariana Grande exposed that she's in that recently.
How?
So in the Oscars, she had two dresses, right?
Yeah.
And one dress was normal, and then the other dress, though, I'll show you. Now I want to see if you notice like anything weird about the dress. So it's red, so obviously it's already weird that
It looks like there's a shoe on her back.
yeah, there is a shoe. It's a red heel. So in another video, it's literally a heel pointing at her back. And I'm telling you, like if you just do your research on the Red Shoe Club, these like it's not for fashion that they're wearing the red shoe. It's literally like a yo brother, I'm with you. Like you know like how Ana Grande
So
fan,
just tell them that they're part of that
yeah,
cult.
she literally wore that in the biggest media. Why is there a heel on her back? Why a red heel?
It's interesting.
And you know how in the Wizard of Oz, what does the witch make the people fight over?
The shoes.
Yeah, but a red slipper.
Yeah, the red shoes where she clips.
The Oscar.
Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. But as for the red shoe, basically that's young people trafficking in corn, that type of stuff. And it is deeper. But do y'all think she was exposing it, or do y'all think that she was showing her allegiance? Let me know in the comments. She was a child actor, so, and I think she was under Dan Schneider with Nickelodeon. Who knows what she had to endure? Hey, let's keep going.
Oscars. That award show is more than just about movies.
The Oscars.
The red carpet, it's not glamour. It's symbolic blood. A path walked only after sacrifice. And that golden statue, that's not just a trophy. That's Sokar, Egyptian god of the underworld. Faceless, arms crossed, rigid, just like the Oscars. Sokar, Oscar. You see it now? The Oscars don't reward talent. They reward submission. Actors aren't free. They're scripted, placed, controlled. Their real role is you. Keeping you watching, believing. Ever notice how some winners vanish? Scandals, humiliation, rituals, career crashes. It's all part of the contract, because once you've played your part, Hollywood rewrites you or deletes you. Remember that slap? Yeah, that one. It wasn't about outrage. It was a performance. And right after, Best Actor. Not for a movie, for the role of his public life. The Oscars are WWE for elites. Fake fights, real control. 1 year they sell you empowerment, the next obedience. The show is scripted, the winners are chosen. And the agenda, always delivered. Hollywood isn't a dream factory, it's a ritual machine. And the Oscars, that's where the gears are oiled.
This is just a theory, not a fact. This is just a theory, not a fact.
Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, but I will say this. All of these award shows are like that. All of them are rituals, the Super Bowl. That's why they all around the same time. Even Mardi Gras. That's why they're all around the same time. But Hollywood equals 33. Actor 33. Y'all already know about the number 33. I used to want to be an actress, and I'm so glad that my mom was as on me as she was. She didn't want to let me move to LA or anything like that. And I'm grateful now. Did y'all see the fly in the camera? But let's keep going. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna play this next one. This next one, I fought about putting it in because it is so personal. But I think it needs to be shown, and especially knowing what I know now, I don't think that it was fully natural disaster. That's just my opinion. But because it was so close to home, and it is close to home, it is home, and it's close to me, I decided to put it in, even though it kind of, made me a little full inside. But let's go to the next clip, y'all.
Is that actually what happened? I never understood where the levees were. Is that actually what happened? Oh my god. In 20 years, I didn't know that this is actually what happened.
Tell me what y'all think in the comments. Let's keep going.
Have you learned nothing from me yet?
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
Really? Not a thing? So you mean to tell me I spend all this time showing you that things like these SpaceX rockets that supposedly come and perfectly land upright aren't even real, but just holograms? And I show you the actual footage from SpaceX where the hologram literally glitches out. Where'd it go? It's gone. It's missing. Oh, there it is. It's gone. There it is. Oh, it's gone. You haven't learned anything? That they're also doing this with other things? Other things like helicopters plummeting so fake-like to the ground that my head would spin, kind of like this hologram propeller. Well, let's take a look at it. Oh, why is it disappearing on and off? Okay, propeller, now it's gone, and there it is again. Gone, and there it is again. And there it is again. But not just in that view. Let's take a look at this view of that girl screaming, "Oh no!" Let's see what the propeller does here. Okay, let's take a zoom in. Let's notice how straight it is. Very straight. It's a straight propeller. And all of a sudden, it appears to have some curvature. Why is there a curvature to it all of a sudden? Oh, right there. It's like an S all of a sudden. But there's more. Hold on a second, because much like that SpaceX rocket that glitches out and disappears, so does this propeller. Where does it go? All of a sudden, you can't see it. Ready? Oh, it's gone. And then it pops back up. Because it's a hologram. They're testing to see if you will fall for it. Don't fall for it. And if you're not sure, all you gotta do is go type in 3 and you'll know for sure, because they always make sure to get their 33 in there, their Masonic 33. And here in another article, and they do it every time because they love the number 33, because they love Lucifer and the fallen angels, and a third, or 0.33, fell. But don't take my word for anything. I'm sure that this is just some sort of real life glitch that, you know, it's the heat from the undercarriage that's heating it up so much that it's making it hard to see the actual rocket. It's definitely not a hologram. Just like this propeller that suspiciously all of a sudden turns curved and then all of a sudden glitches in and out, definitely isn't a hologram either, and they definitely are testing out their hologram technology on us now to see if we buy it. So when they test it in other ways with, I don't know, maybe fake alien invasion that they know, do they have to improve it or can they use this crap? Well, apparently they can use that crap. At least on most of you, but not this guy. I suggest you start getting a better discerning eye for what's real and what's nonsense. But of course, all this is for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that really happened. Entertainment only.
Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Y'all know, y'all tell me. Let's keep going.
It doesn't matter who you vote for, who you put in office, they all belong to the other side. They're the pockets of the Illuminati. When you quit electing professional politicians, when you quit electing the guy who looks nice on television because he speaks good and he looks like the guy you wanted to marry or something like that, you're playing right into their hands. You know, they've made it so impossible for another Abraham Lincoln to get elected to the office of president. It's a wonder that we even have a chance at all. We need to send people to Congress and to government who are going to clean house. Kick all the members of secret societies out of the bureaucracy. Lock them up. Try them for treason. Kick the incumbents out. Send citizens to Washington. They do whatever they have to be approved by the people, but in secret, they're not at all.
I mean, if you know, you know, but I mean, the times are showing us exactly like this. You know, I feel like if you still be like, I don't believe it all, you just want to stay in the matrix, or you're just an NPC, you're just a part of the program. You know, and for some people, that's what they want to do. And, you know, but for me, I'm straight. You know, but let's keep going.
Dr. Sidney Gottlieb is the Central Intelligence Agency's chief chemist. He's also directing a project of vital importance to national security. In government labs, universities, prisons, brothels, and so-called black sites across the world, the CIA is testing the effects of various conditions on the human mind. Their goal is to find the most effective methods of mind control and its potential as a tool for espionage and warfare. But the human mind is not so easily controlled. First, it must be broken. For over a decade, the CIA used thousands of men, women, and children as involuntary test subjects in their search for mind control. Prolonged exposure to psychoactive drugs, sleep and sensory deprivation, hypnosis, and psychological punishment are just some of the experiments they tried. Much of the evidence of MKUltra was destroyed, but not all. For decades, people have been piecing the story back together. In the process, they found hundreds of disturbing experiments, the cover-up of a CIA agent's murder, and the origins of an LSD-fueled counterculture revolution. But still, questions remain. Who was behind MKUltra? Why was the CIA interested in mind control? And perhaps, most importantly, what did they find?
This is the Rockefeller Report, released tonight, 299 pages. It says many things, that the CIA did engage in unlawful activities, that it did go beyond its mandate, that it did succumb to political pressures from the White House. It confirms there was domestic spying on American civilians, unlawful wiretaps, the opening of private mail, even a drug testing program involving the use of LSD against unsuspecting persons.
In 1942, the United States created the Office of Strategic Services. It was the country's first foreign intelligence agency, responsible for conducting espionage missions in World War II. But in 1945, after defeating the Axis powers, President Harry Truman dissolved it. He reasoned that the U.S. didn't need a foreign intelligence service, especially during peacetime. But the war had never ended. Only the enemy had changed.
Stranger Things was kind of like piggybacking on this. Well, centered around this MKUltra experiments, and I believe it's still going on today. And if I'm not mistaken, it came from the Nazis during the in Hitler time. But if I'm wrong, y'all let me know in the comments. But let's keep going. Let's go.
Hey, don't forget to like, comment, share, and sub up if you are subscribed. What are you waiting for? It's free. Now let's get to the content. Let's go.
So y'all, here's a change of scene. Still at the link, but I could not deal with the flies, and then the bees came. I just couldn't handle it. So I found a little spot that ain't got nothing going on. So let's just finish this thing going up, and let's keep it going. So let's get to it.
Cat Williams, you betrayed us. Remember, it all started when you was exposing the industry on the Shay Show, and when you was doing comedy, always exposing the truth. But what I want to know is, what is this? Huh? Now you went from exposing the industry to working with the industry? I'm confused. This was for GQ. What is this, bro? And I know what that chain means. People are saying that Cat Williams is a warlock. But to be honest with you, I don't believe that at all. Out of all the outfits you could have wore, why this one? Why this one? What's up with that hat? What is going on here, Cat? I thought you was on our side. I thought you was here to wake people up. But it seems like you went back to sleep. Now, I got no problems with Cat Williams. I'm not here to discredit him or anything. He's a funny person. He's a great comedian. But I don't like when people switch sides. without ordering an extra side of fries. What I want to know is why would the industry want to work with somebody exposing the industry? Something's going on here, guys. People are saying that he's a controlled opposition. People are saying that. I didn't say nothing, but I just think that he's just playing his position. Shut up! This video is for entertainment purposes only. I like Cat Williams. I'm just trying to understand why did he switch up on us so fast. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out of here.
I like Cat Williams too, but I do feel like he is playing his position. I think that when I realized what the chain was, I was like, oh, okay. And then, the Masons, they like to call themselves traveling men, look into it. So I was like, oh, okay, so you with the get down. There are the Donald Trumps, and then there's the Bidens. Still the Masons. Still so let's keep going. And all the other subsectors and spirals out from that too. But let's keep going.
The cult of the Black Cube, better known as the Saturn Death Cult. The global elite worships the dark side of the planet Saturn and uses occult symbols in modern institutions, and it's been going on since creation. Basically started with the fallen angels, and it all revolves around the god Saturn. But this god Saturn is also the god Baal, the god Molech.
Oh gosh.
And is prevalent in basically every ancient and modern satanic.
Saturn is Satan.
They think it translates from Satan, the astrology Capricorn, which is the primary thing, and that is Saturn, which is a goat. The black cube, I'm like, where's the black cube come into this? There's like this dark spot on the top of Saturn that is in the shape of a hexagon. And if you take the hexagon and you make it a 3-dimensional, it makes a cube. What was crazy is that if you go to basically any major financial district, they all have a monument of a black cube.
No way.
They believe that worship of it is that they're able to tap into this realm or this deity to be able to enslave the masses. The cult of the black.
I mean, but if you think about it, Saturn is in everything. And it be subliminals. And I think I'm going to put that in the next video. We're going to talk about Saturn and the black cube. You know what I mean? And don't I'm trying to get the politically correct way to say, because even though, I understood Kanye in regards to the Hebrew Israelites and everything, but the Jewish people over there, by Palestine and stuff, don't they have a little black cube on the top of their little hat, their things too? And let's keep going.
You're going to be called crazy. Many people also called Noah crazy. And then the rains came. And all the fact checkers died.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
you have to persevere.
And realize there's nothing left.
It ain't no way we been getting finessed like this, y'all. And China just exposed it all. So boom, Americans out here dropping 800, 1,200, and even 4,000 and more on designer clothes, thinking it's all luxury, all high quality clothes, the high end stuff. But China just pulled the curtain back and showed the world that most of the stuff is made in the same factories with material that costs a fraction of the price. So we're talking shoes that cost $30 to make, but it's being sold in US for $700. And we're talking hoodies that cost $10 to make, that's being sold for over $300. And jeans that cost $50 to make, that's being sold for $500 to $1,000. That's not high end. That's robbery, y'all. And this is the crazy thing. This is not even new. A lot of people just been blind to it. They think it just because they got a fancy label, that means it costs more. In reality,
that just means the mock-ups is better. China basically said, here y'all go. Now y'all better act like you know. And now everybody mad. They not mad at China. They mad at the brands that been overpricing this stuff they've been buying. They mad at the brands that they've been worshiping. See a sucker, lick a sucker, no Diddy. They seeing now, they were never buying quality. They were buying status. And they finally waking up. All of this happened because of this tariffs. People would have never knew. Or some people was really too blind to even notice the fact. But now everything is front and center for everybody to see. So if you one of them people that dropped the check on this designer shit, and now you feel played, let me know down below in the comments. Let's talk about it.
More than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China.
Have you guys seen that TikTok video that the Chinese guy posted about exposing how luxury goods are made? Basically, most of the luxury brands we use every day are made in China, then shipped to Europe and sold to consumers at a premium. A wedding ring that we can buy for $2, they turn it into $2,000. China is the world's largest processing plant. You buy Gucci, 80% is made in China, Prada 60% is made in China. Even Chanel, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Adidas, Nike, etc. The only difference here is that China sends them to Europe and they put some little label on them that says made in France, made in Italy. It's ridiculous. While people are still criticizing H&M for being cheap and of poor quality, those expensive and good products that you think are made in France and Italy are actually from China. So what do you have to worry about? Come on, your MAGA hats are made in China. And now President Trump has imposed an additional 144% tariff on China. Vice President J.D. Vance called the Chinese peasants. They're out of line. If you don't let me do my business, we can't do ours.
Wow. I didn't know that. But actually I don't have a big collection of designer bags. But I have some and I prefer like the Speedies, and the Boston bag type of style, but it was like, yeah. Y'all tell me how y'all felt in the comments if you were a label whore. Let me know how you feel in the comments, Let's keep going.
She's trafficked in the music business. Hello, Sean Combs, right? This is my family story. It's Ilanka's story. She's trafficked for 6 years. 6 years.
So you had no contact with her during this time?
At first we did, and then no, right? 6 years Ilanka is trafficked. We don't know she's being trafficked. And a cop that's moonlighting at a casino to make extra money, that's not on duty, 2 o'clock in the morning, walks from the poker floor to his hotel room, hears a woman scream, barges through the door, and it's Ilanka. He recognizes her. He sees Mike, the guy that's the pedophile. He gets in a scuffle with Mike. Ilanka runs away. Mike gets away. We get a message that, hey, she's alive. She was seen. My mom from the first day said she's alive. God's got her. God's going to bring her back.
That's deep and that's tough. Wow.
Luciferian, globalistic. It requires Nephilim sex magic, and it requires the building up of iniquity, of iniquitous bloodlines, and then you cash in on it. So what they'll do is they'll take a girl, abuse the snot out of her, have her get pregnant. She has a baby, and they have a second bloodline, third. At about the fourth generation, if they perform Nephilim sex magic and blood ritual abuse on that fourth generation, it's a sorcerous, powerful thing to them. And, I didn't know anything about any of that. Yeah. I didn't know. I mean, dude, again, I'm from Joshua, Texas, and I'm just a guy that, hey, we have an opportunity to rescue kids, and we got an opportunity to do this. We got an opportunity to do that. And we started doing that, and we just started seeing it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's like when we started coming across South Africans with the first name L. Really? All over the world. all over the world. And it's like, if you come across a child or a young woman or a young man that, like, what are you doing in Uganda? Why are you here? Well, somebody brought me here. I had to escape something. And their first name is El Sion. Can you think of any famous South Africans that their first name begins with EL? Like Elon?
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, that is all.
I didn't even think about that.
It's EL. So it's like on Stranger Things. What's that chick's name?
11.
Yeah, exactly right. Everybody calls her L.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now we're cooking.
Now, this whole thing is so real. And I've seen it all over the world. And I had nobody to talk to. Everybody's just like, what am I going to do? I mean, who am I going to go talk to about this, that? And then all of a sudden, it's kind of like, man, you're tracking through the jungle and you got a machete. And then all of a sudden you come into a clearing and boom, there's all these other people there and you find your tribe. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that's an important breakthrough whenever you start to do that. It's the sinew forming on the mighty army. Can these dry bones live? The first thing that formed was the sinew. It was the connective pieces. It wasn't the heart. It wasn't a brain. It wasn't guts. It was sinews was the first one. That when you start to connect within the body, no matter how weird that is, it's when you start to raise up an army.
Can you tell me about this inverted star right here?
Okay, I can. That's the Order of the Eastern Star, which is one of Our Lady's groups. They're very, very large. They have both male and female members in it. The men have to be a Mason to join it. It's also one of those stars that causes people to think that we might be involved in devil worship, and we're not.
And Hiram was the Grand Master, right?
Hiram was on the other side up here, we have the chaplain. We open our meetings with a non-denominational prayer. We never say in the name of Jesus Christ at the end of our prayers. But the reason for that is because we have all religions represented in a lodge, and we're expecting that the God that they worship is who they're thinking of as we close that prayer.
So is there an amen at the end?
There is an amen.
Okay.
There is an amen.
But you're respecting the other things.
Yeah, and we would typically say something along the lines of, in thy holy name. And of course, when that happens, I'm thinking of Jesus Christ.
But somebody else might be thinking of the deity they worship.
Their deity they worship, yeah. Yes.
Can you tell us about this accord? Is that part of the accord?
So every lodge in this state has 2 pillars. They don't all have stairs, but these are representative of the 2 pillars on the porch at King Solomon's Temple.
And they have names, right?
They have names.
Yakin? Is that right? You tell me. I'm going to guess.
I actually can't.
You can't? Okay.
No, I actually can't. That's one of those. But they can be easily found.
Everything can be easily found, but it's always hidden in plain sight. And when you know the symbols and when you know what to look for and you know what the meanings are, you see it everywhere. You know, you like, oh, seriously, yo. I mean, it's all connected, hidden in plain sight, and it's all there. And they're still following universal law because they just have to tell you. They don't say, I didn't have to tell you. They just have to tell you. I challenge everyone to start going forward, maybe even for this next week, when you watch movies or something on TV or where you know, just start looking for the pillars, the checkerboard floors in the movies, the certain symbols, and then start Google up some symbols, and then and then some satanic symbols, and then you'll start to see the things that make you go. Yeah, but y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, and I want to know your opinion as well. So, everybody, we've made it to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed our scenery. I'm gonna give you guys a little view of the scenery. One second. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give me about a week to get everything unpacked and set up, and if I could come on and get a video out in less than a week, then I would definitely post it a reminder in my community tab. I use that a lot, you guys, so if you guys want to know reminders, if y'all don't see me, go check the community tab. I post there often to let you guys know what's going on as much as I can, because I'm a private person, so I'm not going to give you everything, but other than that, I have to go. I have so much to do. It is early in the morning. I just dropped my kids off. I hurried up to the lake and to get this shot so I could go ahead, run some errands, edit, and push this out to you guys. I miss you guys as always, and I will see you guys soon. Until next time, bye.